Oh, me hearties, a very good evening to you. It's just me, Scottie McClue, 9 o'clock on Saturday evening. Nothing gets past me. And a very, very welcome to our live stream. A very warm welcome to our live stream. I say YouTube Live and TikTok Live. This is the big one. We've only got 1 hour of superb, scintillating information, education, and entertainment. How is it going? How is Christmas? How is the celebration of the birth of the Christ child going? Do tell us, of course, and come and join us. A very, very warm welcome. Hello from London, says Rob. Fantastic stuff. Dinky-Doo, Rob. So there we go. I love that. And a very warm welcome. Now then, who's this on the phones? You're live at Scottish Phone In. Who's that? There we are. Somebody shouting and bawling. That's the stuff. Anyway, remember, no shouting and bawling if you're coming on. Sensible chat only. And we should make it really that you have to be of a certain age to ring up, I would say. So there we are. But we'll see how that goes. You're live with Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
Martin Lala.
Martin Lala, how are you?
I phoned a minute ago and you put the phone down on me.
Well, I thought it was somebody shouting and bawling.
I know.
I thought it was maybe a wee one being daft.
I know.
And it wasn't.
No, I was a me saying Merry Christmas Day. Saying hello, how are you doing, my friend?
Hello, how are you doing, my friend? There's somebody asking Martin, what political party am I? I'm not any political party. I'm apolitical.
Sorry, I think politics should be banned from your life.
Banned from the live show? You think we shouldn't discuss politics? No politics.
No.
Now, tell me, Martin, out of interest, why do you say that?
Because it's too much trouble and too much flick to people to comment.
Because it's too much trouble and too much
flick. Because a lot of arguments every time.
Yeah, but I mean, should we shy away from having an argument?
Like I said, politics should be like remain private and common. Not
yes.
revealed to all people like the public.
There's a guy got it 100% wrong. He says he's a Tory. How daft is that? You know what I'm saying? How daft are these people?
I'm in a new house and I've got a lot of new vinyls now as well.
Good one, Martin. What have you got? You had 200 last time.
Yes, but I've got 250 now.
Ah, you got 50 more vinyls.
Yeah.
Wow, how amazing is that? There's Callum saying, all right, Scotty, how are you this evening? Isn't that fantastic?
Yes.
We love that. Martin, I am delighted. And are you ready for Crimble?
Oh, yes. I'm definitely ready for Crimble.
Uh-huh.
10 days to go. 10 days to go.
10 days, my boy. That'll be amazing. In fact, is it not 9 days?
So, do you have a Christmas Day speech normally Christmas Day?
Yes. I usually pop up just before the King. Oh, do you like my glasses? Somebody's just sent me grumpy glasses. We love it. Martin, I'll say Dinky-Doo and we'll catch up soon, la. I am on Dinky-Doo, la.
Dinky-Doo, love you lots, bye.
Love you lots, Martin. Ta-ra-the-doo. There we are. That's our Martin, a great character. And that was him that had phoned before. I say, if you've just joined us, a very, very warm welcome. You're watching a Scottie McClue. OMG, are you the guy? No, I don't think so, Emily. What's that? Yes. Lots and lots of comments have been filtered. We love that. That means that the wee trolls have been sent dun the Swanee. Right, let's get talking here and see what is what. Hi, Scottie, says Susan. Dinky-Doo Scott says Negan. Professor Numpty said, What's up, Scotty? Lovely to have you with us. Take the bonnet off, Alan McGee. Why do you say that? Why do you think I'd put the bonnet on if I was going to take it off? There you are. So funny. Martin, Professor Numpty. All right, Numpty, says David. Hi, Davy boy. Davy and Numpty, Susan speaking to them. They're all saying hello to each other. So there you go. There's Negan. Neil Gormley, Agent Neil reporting from Bournemouth. Over. Neil Gormley, welcome, sir. Lovely to have you with us. Scotty, do you know Woodbury has its own unofficial national anthem, Zombie by the Cranberries? Well, I don't know much about the Cranberries, but I know I had cranberries tonight. A proper toff, says Winston. Yes, Winston, you can be a proper toff without being a Tory. So there you are. My radio nighttime legend, says John. Are you from England? Well, I'm from not too far from England, about 100 miles away. But of course, a million miles away in other ways. See what I just did there, guys? There's a Sean Connery movie about Glasgow docks, the bonnet and the bowler. You are 100% right, Jacobite. Sean Connery, I think, narrated the bowler and the bonnet. And I also think that, who else did we have in it? Oh, Phil McCall was in that. He was the taxi driver. Hello, wee man. All that. You don't have a Glasgow accent. Well, Jacobite, this is a Glasgow accent. It's a West of Scotland accent, but I don't really have an accent. It's just the way I speak. Do you know the Don family in Stirling? Yes, I'm sure I do, Miss Kay. Hello, Scotty. Merry Christmas. Richard, Merry Christmas to you. We've still got 9 days to go. Martin was telling me 10. And Martin's the one that comes on after the 1st of January and says only another 363 days to go. They're my relatives. How amazing, MSK. What do you think of Aberdeen Shark? A lovely, lovely place stuffed full of beautiful people. That's Aberdeen for you. There we go. You're live on Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
DINKY-DOO, lad. Tom here.
Tom, lad, from Belfast. Tom, I had a lady giving me absolute fits for shutting you down about discussing something.
What was that, Scotty?
Well, I had a lady give me absolute fits, as we say, right? She gave me a piece of her mind. Apparently, I shut you down from discussing something. Was that amazing?
What were we discussing?
I don't know, but do you remember, were you a bit miffed about something? No.
What were we talking about the last time?
Something to do with Ireland and the kind of people or something like that. And you said something, and apparently I didn't know this, but I kind of shut you down on it, so no, we're not discussing that tonight.
Well, if I can't remember, Scotty.
That's good. No, as long as you're not miffed.
No. I have no clue, Scotty, to be quite honest.
That's absolutely fine. There we are. I don't know what she was saying. She just said she loves Tom, and she felt I shut him down.
Was this last week?
This must have been last week, yes. So you've got a lot of fans, you see, Tom.
There you
are. Tom, what a lovely guy he is, you know. There we go.
Yeah. Well, I better make the most of it, because next thing you know, I mightn't be able to get through to you.
Well, this is it. Why? What's wrong?
Well, you'll make it big.
Oh, this is big.
You'll be on national radio, and the phone in will be going off the hook.
Well,
just like the old days when BT had to shut you down.
They had to. Well, they didn't shut us down. They had to strengthen the network.
Surely.
And I think it was very expensive, but we didn't have to take the hit for it. But they realized they contacted the radio station and said, "Are you a business? What's going on?" They said, "We're a radio station." They said, "Do you do a big competition?" I said, "No, Scottie McClue's on it." Oh, that explains it.
How many people got 2,500, was it?
460,000.
Oh, jeez, 460,000.
460,000. In those days, you didn't just see figures come up on the computer. You got an actual computer printout, and you printed it out, and the printout had 460,000 people had tried to contact me in 1 week, and I still hold that record.
1 week. See, I thought it was something like 2,500 people at the one time, you know.
460,000 on what was effectively a local radio station. It covered all of central Scotland, and people used to listen in Northern Ireland as well.
That was Scott FM at the time, wasn't it?
Scott FM, it was a beautiful radio station, brilliant, the best Scotland's ever seen. Scotland's not really got much media to speak of now, and because it's all gone. And they've got radio station stuff, but they're owned by people out with Scotland, you know. Whereas this station was owned by 2 ITV stations, one in the north of Scotland and one in the southwest of Scotland.
I was thinking about this the other day. Do you know any Scots Gaelic?
A bit. I could say to you, how are you?
Now, I know a bit of Irish myself, or just Gaelic as we call it, but is there a big difference between the two of them?
Not terribly. I think they could probably make themselves understood. Obviously, they're spoken with a slightly different accent. And I think they could probably make themselves understood as far as I understand. But what we need, I'm no expert. We need an expert on Scottish Gaelic and Irish Gaelic to tell us if, you know, what the similarities or differences are.
Well, say, for example, I said to you, Jadich Mahara Kajamar Tatu.
Well, that would,
what I'm saying there?
Yes, so that would be, how are you tonight, my boy?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, more or less, yeah. You're getting the same message across, you know?
Yes. So I would say to you, Kamarahu Maha Hakama.
And do you know...
and then I would say to you, Falchi, Kira Mili Falchi. Welcome, 100,000 welcomes. Our TikTok, agus YouTube.
Would you know what slancha means?
Slanja, cheers, good health.
Aye.
Your health, slange.
Exactly.
Slanja va. So slinty mahath, it's spelt. So you would actually say slanja va, or just slange. So if I poured you a large bush, and you poured me a large bush, and we clinked and said slange.
Yep.
That would do, wouldn't it?
I was talking to my old Irish teacher at school. I hadn't seen him in years upon years, obviously. And he was saying, like, he would listen to the football or whatever on BBC Alba. And I'd be in Scots Gaelic, you know.
Now, yes, I like BBC Alba, but I could do with more subtitles and stuff like that, because sometimes there's so much rubbish on other channels. You'll put on Alba and it's fascinating. Might be about the boats up the west coast or whatever, you know. And I think, I could really do with some subtitles here.
We have a radio station here called RTE RNAG.
Radio Television.
Yeah, RNAG is Radio Nagale.
Radio Nagale, where we have Radio Nangale ourselves here. And we have Radio Nan Elan, I think. I don't know if they're in with Alba now. I'm a bit out of touch of the sort of where the boundaries are. But we used to have Radio Nangale and Radio Nan Elan, Radio of the Islands.
So we have Radio Television, Radio of the Irish folk. And
you have RTE1.
Yeah, RT1 FM and RT2 FM.
Wonderful. I wonder what radio station that Nightline was on that I overheard. Do you have a program called Nightline?
I think it's on at it's either 1 FM or 2 FM.
Right.
RT1 FM.
And it was great stuff. And there was some good earthy chat going on. You know what I mean? A real life chat. It was very, very good. And because when I would travel up from Sheffield overnight to Glasgow at the weekends, and what I would then do was, maybe run through the radio to see what we had when I was out with my own area. And I got Nightline one night.
Yeah, not bad talk show, Scotty.
No, it was good stuff. What was I going to say to you? About the Irish Gaelic. Do you call it Irish Gaelic or just Irish language?
We would normally call it You would either call it just Irish.
Just
or you
Irish.
would call it,
So would you
or you
say
would
they
call
were
it Gaelic.
talking Irish? I couldn't make everything out.
Yeah, you could say we're talking Irish or we're talking Gaelic.
Right, right. Tom, did I ever tell you about when I was driving into Ireland down at the meeting of the Waters? You know where
No.
I am? Down
Say
at,
again, sorry?
did I ever tell you driving around Ireland and I was down at the meeting of the Waters at Avoca?
Can't say I've heard you talk about that. No.
Yeah, you know where I am though, yes.
No, I don't.
Not really. Well, I was right down in the south. I was having a holiday. And I drove into this village. And it really freaked me, Tom, right? I recognized the village. And I'd never been there in my life. And it
What do
was
you call a village?
so familiar, right?
Mhm.
And everything about this village was just so familiar to me. And then I saw the church, that was familiar as well. And I said to my girlfriend I was with at the time, I said, I am absolutely freaked here. She said, what's wrong? I said, I know this place so well and I've never been here in my life. Then it all dawned on me, it was used for filming Ballykiss Angel.
Right.
And I'd seen it on the telly every Sunday night.
Ballykiss Angels.
Ballykiss Angel. Stephen
Ballykiss
Tompkinson
Angel.
was in it, and it was filmed in Ireland, down at Avoca at the meeting of the Waters.
Ballykiss Angel.
I think it was a BBC show on a Sunday night. It was great.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
And they had a famous Irish actor in it who died quite young, a gentleman.
Uh-huh.
And you know, and Stephen Tompkinson was the priest.
Westmeath. Ballykiss Angels in Westmeath.
Right, Ballykiss Angel. Well, I think this was like a fictional village, but it was filmed in this Avoca.
And you stayed there?
I travelled through, but stopped off, you know, but it was lovely. Like all Irish villages, it was just lovely. The creek's good, you know.
Yeah, surely. It would be in the nearest decent sized town would be Athlone.
That's right. And of course, Athlone, you had the Count of the Earl of Athlone and the Countess of Athlone.
My grandfather's cousins would be from Athlone.
Athlone, yes, wonderful stuff, Tom. Wonderful.
I have to get down there. I haven't been.
Oh, it was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I've also got a certificate there. I've kissed the Blarney Stone at Blarney Castle.
I've done the same myself.
Wonderful.
And funny, it was only last year I went down to Blarney.
The boy has to hold on to your legs so you don't tip over.
That's right.
That's
does.
it.
And funny, we were talking about RT and BBC there, Scotty.
Yes.
I got a new TV for the house there about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I tuned it up on BBC going perfect, but I couldn't find RTA.
Oh.
So I moved the TV into the kitchen and tried it in there. RTE going perfect. And I tried a couple of different aerials and I had no luck with it. So I ended up phoning the engineer and he came out and he made this fancy cable. I watched him make it. He cut it up and he put the wee end on it and the whole lot.
What you call a coaxial?
Coaxial, yep.
Yeah.
Nice wee cover bit in the end. Good quality cable, and RT's been going perfect ever since.
Fantastic. When they know their stuff, you know, it's just incredible. Tom, I'm going to dash on, and lovely to hear you.
I'll just tell you one thing before you
go on. Yeah, of course.
If you're ever interested in watching a bit, you know, about Ireland, if you go onto the RTE, whatever app, there's a good TV program on there called Nationwide.
Right.
It shows you, it's a very good factual program about Ireland. You'd enjoy it.
I would indeed. Yes, I shall look up to that and see if I can get it, Tom. Lovely to hear you, sir.
Good speaking to you, Scotty.
Yeah,
Dinky-Doo.
and love to your family. Dinky-Doo, Tom.
Cheers, Scotty. Dinky-Doo.
Cheers, La. What a super guy. That's it. That's our Tom, of course. Always a great chat. Now, lots and lots of reaction from you beautiful people. Let's just see what's happening now. TikTokers, I have made you so many new videos. So get on there and enjoy them. And what do we got here? DINKY-DOO there. Shane's joined us, of course, from America. Am I right, Shane? Hey, Scotty, and everyone, says Amy on the YouTube channel. Guys, get sharing this as much as you possibly can, because this is going to be very, very big, I say to you. Let's see if I can share it on here. That would be excellent. I'll share it on the Facebook channel if I can. So that should come up. There we are. And I'll just say, Scotty live now. Scotty live now. Join in. Join in. There we are. Scotty live now. Join in. YouTube. Lovely. And TikTok. TikTok. There we are. So that should be going out now on the Facebook, guys. We have so much representation across the internet, but please do your bit and start sharing in. I think it's very, very important. At Scottie McClue, at Scottie McClue. So there we are. TikTok at Scottie McClue. Good. That's going on there, and then I'll put in that we've got followers there. And what else have we got? I can stick an A in there for at. Lovely. And another bit of Scottie McClue here. Lovely. We can put that in for you too. There we are. Good. And then people can get following, you see. That's what it's all about. It's that you can be as good as you like, but if they're not all on and people don't know you're on, then you can forget it. You know what I'm saying to you, folks? That's kind of how it works. Right, I'm just going to post that to the Facebook. There we go. That's gone on to the Facebook. Wonderful stuff. Get following. Alana, thank you so much for following. Lovely to have you with us. What have we got here? Hi, everybody. Lovely to have all the beautiful YouTubers. Please get subscribing. Slowly but surely, people are starting to subscribe. Scotty, last week we were talking about people taking offense to everything nowadays. That's right. That's right. And as I say, a lady was very upset because she's a big fan. Richard Tanner has given me beautiful red roses. Richard, you are so kind and generous. So very, very good of you, I say to you. It's lit up with the Creators Gift Gallery. There we are. Thank you so much, guys. Ian Mack sent roses. Thank you, Ian. So good to have you with us. Now, how are we getting on? Have we got everybody following? We're going to need 100 followers tonight, guys. So everybody get following as soon as you possibly can. You're watching Scottie McClue, #FloatI, the world's top talk show, the world's top broadcaster, the world's most humble man, live for you till 10 o'clock. Never miss a second of Scottie McClue. Good call, Tom, says Susan. Absolutely, Susan. What's the phone number, says Alan McGee. Alan, you've been watching Scottie McClue for years. 01416289795. Doon the Swanee, says Joey. Oh, Doon the Swanee. Merry Christmas from Newfoundland in Canada. Living good in Newfoundland. Merry Christmas. So lovely to have you with us, and a big DINKY-DOO. Thoughts on the old firm? I think we should maybe look at scrapping it and have Glasgow United. Just one team, Glasgow United. Shane says, indeed, Tom, I'm an honest man. I believe that everyone is too serious these days. We need to lighten up. We do. Scotty, what are your plans for Christmas? Well, I'm hoping I'll be finishing work soon for Christmas, and I'm hoping to get a good bit of live done. So we'll be on here a bit of the time. Thoughts on foreigners? Well, it just depends where you live and what is your definition of a foreigner, I say to you. I think I've got a wee thread hanging down there. You're live on Scotty's Phone In. You're live on Scotty's Phone In. Who's that?
Scotty, it's Alan from Glasgow. How are you doing?
Alan from Glasgow, la. How lovely to hear you. How are you doing?
Are you not going to take that bonnet off, Scotty?
No, you never take the bonnet off. Alan, why do you say that? Why do you think I would put the bonnet on if I was going to take it off?
Because it's getting cold at night, Scott. You need to put the woolly bonnet on. You know,
This is the one. This is the one. Well, I've got my proper bonnet here. Look.
You don't put a Santa hat on.
Well, I'll be putting a Santa hat on. I could put a Santa hat on. I'll see if I've got one. I'll just do this for you. There we are. Wait till we see. There you go. How's that?
Oh, well, there's about a 30-second delay on the YouTube, Scotty. So
right. Well, there you are. Well, you should be actually seeing now.
Right. So two things I want to talk to you about quickly.
Yes.
One of them is, are you doing a Hug Mini Bash this year?
Oh yes, I hope so. Yes, we've been doing it for the last 32 years.
Right. And again, I was actually brought a smile on my face earlier on when you were talking about Scott FM.
Yes.
You know, I keep on saying to you, but obviously when are you coming back on the radio, Scotty? Because you're missed.
I was talking to some senior radio people the other day, and they were saying how well I'm actually doing on here. And I think that was the whole thing. They think people will just need to accept that Scotty at the moment is on TikTok and YouTube.
You need to get back on the airwaves. I mean, that 460,000. That
460,000.
That was great days.
But that channel doesn't exist now. The sort of frequency has been taken over by some bland music, I think.
I know, but that was a good. I mean, it was that bad. It was that much. You know, you made the front page of the newspapers.
We made the front page of the newspapers, and you know, we had 250,000 every half hour, Alan.
Well,
every 250,000. That's over 10%. That's about 10-11% of the population of Central Scotland.
You know. But do you think if you get back on the airwaves, you would do like a 10 to 1? Or a 10 till midnight, you know.
Well, I think, yes, you've got to give it a good couple of hours, I always say, on the radio. An hour's plenty here on a Saturday night. You know, but on the radio, you need to give it a couple of hours because everybody wants to try and get a call in.
I mean, what sort of nights would you do again? Would you do like the Sunday to Thursday? Like
you can do Sunday to Thursday, or you can do Monday to Friday. The Friday nights were huge, you know. We used to call it, do you remember we called it Nutter's Night?
I remember people used to come on the phone, Scott, and I mean, I remember years ago you used to slate women drivers and single mothers. Well,
we did. Well, the women drivers, we weren't really slating. We were just explaining that women handle things differently to men.
Come on, Scotty, 30 years ago you were slating single mothers and women drivers. Come on, you must remember.
No, what we used to say was we used to try and avoid the single mothers because there wasn't the money to pay them. Now they're giving them a lot more money, I think, aren't they?
Well, you know, it's changed days. It's a very multicultural thing now. You know, it's like you can't say anything without offending people.
Well, but the only thing is, I think we need politicians to stand up and say, look, you know, we certainly we want free speech in this country, and we want, you know, a Scottish country, and we want, you know, and the likes of Scotty should be free to say whatever he likes. And if you don't like it, you can put him off. But you can't listen and complain. So I think that's what they need with Scotty. They need to say, if you're listening to Scotty, you need to take what he's given you. If you can't do that, there'll be no complaining accepted. If you can't do that, then that's tough.
But you know yourself, Scott, you go on the airwaves and, you know, you'll get in a debate with somebody.
Yeah.
You'll say something, and before you know it, there's 24 Karens out there complaining, or Scotty said this, Scotty said that. You know, if they don't know what you like and they don't like the chat, then don't listen.
Well, I think what we'll need to say to them is you cannot complain about Scottie McClue. It won't be accepted. You won't be listened to.
You know, I mean, probably half these people don't remember you 30 years ago, and they go like that. Oh, he's this person on the radio, you know, on the YouTube, you know, but they don't remember, you know, at the height of the career when it was like 500,000 people listening and 500,000 people with the phone calls, and, you know.
But Alan, wait till I tell you this. There's a misconception that when I left Scott FM, that was the end of the phone calls. The truth is we went on and doubled all that in the northwest of England with 5.2 million of a population.
Well, tell me, what was more successful? You know, your 10 to 1, and then remember you changed to the daytime. What was more successful?
Well, can I tell you, I was anxious about going on to the daytime. I said, I'm a nighttime man. Yeah, but what happened? The audience doubled in the morning. And I don't know how they did it, because people, sales reps, everybody, one morning, the motorway was chaos in Scotland. The M8 between Glasgow and Edinburgh came to a complete stop. And a guy phoned me from a van. He goes, Scotty, we're doing or not, we're loving the show because we're stuck in the motorway. I said, can everybody who's listening toot their horn? You won't have heard that riot.
But you know, thing, it was a sort of, it was a different chat than it was talking to somebody at midnight. And it was talking to somebody at
without a doubt, Alan, you're 100%. No, it was different. But that's not to say it wasn't funny, because some of the morning chats are scream.
I must say, out of the two chats, Scott, I've been listening to you for 30 years. You know, the nighttime chat was better because it was more, shall we say, it was more kind of to the bone.
Maybe down to earth, would that be the term?
Aye, it was a lot better. And my second point is, Scotty, obviously, is Christmas approaching.
Yes.
Christmas is next week.
Yes. I've just got a hat on for you. I dedicate this hat for you.
I see the Christmas bonnet on, Scotty.
Yes.
You need to keep that on.
That's for you.
My thing is, what is your opinions on restaurants charging you double, sometimes treble the price for a dinner on Christmas Day compared to the day before?
I wouldn't go for it. I mean, I can remember my uncle had an hotel, and we used to go there, and the whole family, I mean, there was about 30 or 40 of us all together when everybody got sat down. And the hotel, there were one or two people staying for Christmas Day, and they were getting served as well, you know. And they were having a nice time. They didn't want to join us or anything. They were just staying at the hotel. But I don't agree with hiking everything. I think you're doing the service, that's it. So, you know, people would say, Scotty, I thought you'd have been getting double time for Christmas Day. And you think, well, no, you just, I mean, I want to share the Christmas with the people. And people say, but that means you don't get to go and see your family. And I think, well, that's just the gig. You see?
Because the reason I ask you that is obviously, I mean, I won't name names, but, you know, me and my kids were going to a local restaurant, you know, and they're charging £85 per person.
I wouldn't go. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't go. Everybody's charging too much. I come out the shops now, and I used to maybe have a wee bill for the groceries, 15 quid. It's now things like 40 quid, 45 quid for the same stuff.
That's shocking. I mean, I went to this same place for my birthday dinner, and the three of us ate. We got starters, and we got a big meal and a dessert and that, and it was like £160. But then the same place we're going to for Christmas, it's going to be double the price. But if you want X, Y, and Z, there's like a £5 supplement or a £10 supplement, and you're like, that seriously? So it's going to be the best
far the other way. That lockdown clobbered everything, whether it was needed or whether it wasn't. Argy-bargy, but it clobbered everything. It clobbered everything. But also, there are people using it all as an excuse. I'm afraid we have to charge a bit more. Now, I can remember everybody vying with everybody else. So when I was down in Yorkshire, there's somebody saying, same as Sunday, prices are higher. Well, I can remember when I was down in Yorkshire, the pubs all had boards out, and they were more or less begging you to come in. They're going, Sunday lunch, £5.50 and all this stuff included. 2 different meats, all that. £7.50 for the whole lunch, 3 courses.
I know.
And they were mobbed, but they were mobbed. That's the thing, they were heaving.
I know.
You see, everybody was in.
Again, me and the kids were out, you know, we were in the Glasgow City Centre during the week getting some shopping, and again, we went somewhere for something to eat. And even the prices in there, it used to be before, it was like 2 for 1. But now it's like 10, 11 quid a meal, and you're like that.
Right. Well, the thing is, do you want 2 people, Alan, at 100 quid, right? Just for talking sake, do you want 2 people at 100 quid, or do you want 100 people at a tenner.
Aye. You know what I mean? There's like Valentine's Day. The day before it, a bunch of red roses are £5. On the day, it's treble, quadruple the price, 40, 50 quid for a
This
bunch
is
of
it.
roses.
So make sure you get your flowers to say, listen, I'll be working tomorrow, hen, but there's your flowers for tomorrow.
Well, anyway, I won't keep you back.
You're not keeping me back. It's a privilege hearing from you. You're a top man.
It's been good, Scotty. You know, I've been watching the last few weeks, you know what I mean? As I say, but you just listen to some people that phone up and you go like that, God, get you back on the radio. 10 to 1.
Now, Alan, you're an expert on Scottie McClue. Are you enjoying what we are doing right now?
Can I give you my honest answer?
Yeah, well, I insist you do.
It's when I'm watching YouTube, right? The YouTube conversations are very different, you know, from years ago.
Yes.
You know, you tend to find people, the same people kind of. I mean, back in the Scott FM days, you know, there was a large diversity of calls.
Yes.
Ranging from people screaming down the phone to the more serious.
Yes. Or to somebody with a genuine problem that we tried to help with.
Yes. But now it's basically, you tend to find that now it's the same people that phone every week and talk the same stuff.
But you'll always get that on a phone-in. The big complaint I've had for 32 years, well, it's all the same people. So what I say to that person is, have you phoned yourself? Oh, no, I wouldn't phone. And you go, well, there you are. So just put up with the same people if you wouldn't phone. Because it's nothing to be nervous of nowadays. It's just we're having a bit of a goss, you know.
You know, as I say, I mean, I love watching you every week, you know, as I say, but it'd be nice to get a more, again, it's one of the ones, Scott, you know, you have to watch what you say.
You've got to watch what you say, but also, well, you don't want, you're on somebody else's platform, you see. I don't own YouTube and I don't own TikTok, so they decide what I say.
Because it's one of the ones, you know, if you said something, somebody said X, you say Y, somebody said Z, and before you know it, there's a big hullabaloo that they're complaining.
You see, what I had at Scott FM, Alan, I was 100% supported by very senior management. And when they were sitting in a meeting, they got a guy in doing some programming and he was discussing stuff. And it came to my program last in the day and they said, what about, Scotty, what do you want us to change about that show? And he said, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. And that was a big boss. And another big boss said, his programmer went to him and he said, what do I do with Scotty? And he said, you don't touch Scotty.
Because whoever's got McClue has got the monopoly.
Whoever's got McClue's got the market, because we're going to go for it. And if you look back at my history, I have never said anything that was a problem. Couple of tiny minor things that they upheld the complaint, probably wrongly, but they did. But I mean, I have never, on all these shows, on something like 60,000 hours of live broadcasting, unscripted, nobody in the world has done that.
But do you know, think sometimes, Scotty, when people are maybe sitting watching you on the YouTube or the TikTok, there's probably people out there, you know, who watched you, listened to you 30 years ago, that are maybe sitting there alone listening to you, and they want to phone you, but they're too scared.
Yes, well, that's why we have to get rid of being scared. There was a while when people were saying, oh, I'm not talking to him, he cuts you off and all. So what? So what?
You know, because, I mean, there's days where, or times, but, you know, we all do. We all get days that we're down.
Yes.
We all get days that we're sad, you know. I'd say, but even if you're not doing the live, you know, I go into your old videos and I do tend to see myself going on to YouTube and Googling Scott FM, Scottie McClue, and getting back to 25, 30 years ago. But, you know, I must say, Scott, you know, I've been listening to you for years, and you do bring a smile to my face along with tens of thousands of other people. You know, but there's probably folk out there that are sitting there. Again, it's coming up to that time of year, isn't it, where people are on their own.
They're on their own, yeah. But I genuinely feel, and I'm going to say this right now live here, I feel McClue should be accessible to these people. And that's why I don't want anybody thinking, no, I'm too scared or I shouldn't. If they come on with the right attitude, they'll get looked after. If they want to start acting up, we'll go for them. So what's your problem, you know?
No. You should actually start doing guest. You should actually start doing guest appearances, Scotty. Charge people to appear.
Yes, well, absolutely. You have to get a living, but you don't want to charge too much. Although I've had over the years people phoning from radio stations saying, I want to get you on, but we don't have a lot of money. And I'm saying, look, do you phone your heating engineer and say you're wanting 6 new radiators, but you're not got any money?
We're only paying for 3 of them.
Only paying for 3. There's a lovely guy, John Taylor. He says, John Myers believed in you, pal. And John Myers was the big boss that set up Scottie McClue 32 years ago. Sadly, John's no longer with us, and I miss him because he was different class when it came to information and entertainment.
Talking about no longer with us, do you remember the newsreader Sandy Gull?
Yes, Sandy, yes, of course I do.
Is he still with us?
I hope so, yes, I think so. I haven't actually seen to the otherwise. And I also remember meeting Alistair Burnett, who was a Scotsman.
Oh, Alistair
Burnett. Alistair Burnett. He was Alistair Burnett, and he was a Scotsman. And in fact, I had an old Scottish field, and I saw his wedding in it. And he was actually James Alistair Burnett. But what I did, I took, when I set up the radio station, I took ITN News, because they were setting up radio news, and they were setting up a bureau in Scotland, and they invited us all to a night out at Glasgow University. The Secretary of State for Scotland and every ITN presenter who wasn't on duty was there, and I had a great night talking to them all.
Right. But I mean, when you used to read the news years ago, West TV, that was based in Cowcaddens, wasn't it? Yes,
that was Cowcaddens, Sir William Brown.
Right. So the studios. I mean, have you been in the STV studios over at the?
Yes, and I'll tell you why I've been in them, because I did some overnights for them. When they were doing overnight shows on there, I popped in to do some for them. So I've been into the new place, very swish.
But that the new one next to the BBC, yes, that one you're talking about.
Yes, right? And into the BBC as well.
So the old studio at Cowcaddens or the new one at BBC, what did you find better?
Well, the old studio at Cowcaddens was not that old, actually. When I was wee, Scottish television were in the Theatre Royal, right? And there was a fire in the Theatre Royal. And what they'd done, they'd floored over the actual theatre, and that was Studio 1. And the likes of John Toy was reading the news, and Gordon Roddick, who still comes on for a chat. Gordon was the announcer, and Michael O'Halloran, and Clem Ashby, and all these wonderful people. And of course, the 1 o'clock game, the 1 o'clock gang with Larry Marshall. So you'd all that going now. My career was interesting because I worked for Scottish Opera, and I was based in the Theatre Royal in Hope Street. And my office was an old STV management office.
Right.
And on the board of Scottish Opera was Sir William Brown, Bill Brown, who had been the managing director of Scottish Telly since 1966, when it was owned by Lord Thompson of Fleet, who owned the Times. Roy Thompson, a Canadian, who set up Scottish television. And that was the man that said ITV was a license to print money.
Right.
That was Roy Thompson. And Bill Brown was the London sales manager when they launched in 1957. And their secretary, their company secretary, was a wonderful man called Lewis Hind, Lewis James McLean Hind. And I worked with Lewis when I was setting up the radio station. So I was very, very privileged, Alan. It just happened, and I met these people, and they were fascinating. And of course, also when I worked at the Theatre Royal, Sir Alexander Gibson would be conducting the orchestra in the afternoon.
But do you not find these days, Scotty, you know, the Hogmanay television, it's the same rubbish every single year?
Well, they've lost it because they thought we want to break with tradition. So the first time Scottish television televised Hogmanay, most of Glasgow used to go and meet at the Tall booth. Yes?
The
And
toll booth bar down in
no,
Glasgow Cross.
the actual toll booth at Glasgow Cross. So that's where people went in early days to celebrate New Year. And they had a carillon. Now, do you know what a carillon is?
No, I never heard of that. What's
Right,
that?
here's one for you. You'll love this. A carillon is like a kind of metal keyboard for bells. So when you hit these, what would be keys, and it plays a tune on the bells.
All right.
And the carillon in the toll booth, they played A Good New Year to Ain and All. And for Auld Lang Syne. Bum, 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 bum.
Because remember they used to have the. Remember they used to have remember the big open air concert at George Square bringing the bells. I mean, they stopped all that. That must be what? I mean, maybe 10 years ago they stopped that.
Yes, they stopped all that. Well, because the police are always paranoid nowadays about crowd control. How many are coming? Who's going to look after? How are we going to manage this? You see what I mean? So the police have always been paranoid if something's got a crowd at it.
I used to love that. I used to love, I mean, I don't even think these days now, Scotty, people have the steak pie at midnight. I mean, is that still a tradition with people?
Well, I'm hearing different stories from folk that they don't always have it, or they have it for lunch on New Year's Day. You see?
I remember it was good. You used to have the steak pie, and then used to go first footing, and it was great because I always used to carry a can of lager, a can of tennis lager with the woman in the back of it. Remember that?
Yes, absolutely.
There was always Deborah or Michelle, Agnes,
and people checked what can, and they would hand it to their pal and go, "No, I'm gonna get this one." It was a great fun, and of course nowadays probably you can't do that. But what I was going to say, Challen, was if you look on YouTube, STV Hogmanay 1957, you'll see the program that would be live at the time, back to the control room at Cowcaddens. And then they opened again. This was Bill Brown's wonderful work. They opened the new offices at Cowcaddens, and that was a great place to work.
Right.
Great place to work. You know.
But have you not got another dog yet, Scotty?
And it was immaculate. No, I maybe leave it a wee while. I've one or two things I need to do. See, I've had dogs for 30 years, and then a lot of stuff it does curtail certain things that you're doing. You go, I can't leave the dog. I wouldn't leave the dog, and all that. And I was trying to take the dog, but they tell when you take him, all that kind of stuff. So you tend to just pander to the dog. If you're a dog owner, you should pander to the dog.
I know. Because remember, I told you a while ago. Remember, we get the rescue dog, Charlie. Remember?
Yes, Charlie. How's he doing?
He's settled in brilliant. He's still, because he was in the kennels for a long time. And he was in the kennels for about 1.5 years before we rescued him.
Wonderful. Bless you, Alan. Thank you for doing that. And thank you from Charlie.
I think that's because when we see him, he's a good dog, but I think people just read that he's on medication, for some, he's kind of anxious and stuff.
Yeah, anxiety. But you don't ever really know what they've been through,
No, but that's it, So he's on some medication for anxiety issues, but I think people just look and go like that. Oh no, he's a medication, I don't want it. I think when they rescue a dog, Scotty, they want the perfect dog.
There's no such thing as the perfect dog. Every dog's perfect in their own way.
Aye.
That's what it is. What I was going to say to Alan about the Hogmanay, just to finish that. So then it became a tradition. Then you went back to the studio and they had dancers and they had accordions and they had comedians and you had all that. So you had folks like John Grieve, Duncan McCrae, Walter Carr, Jimmy Shand, the dancers, Dixie Ingram, Bruce McClure. You had all these wonderful things going on, and it gave people a lovely bit of Scottish entertainment, and the network took it. White Heather Club. Yeah? And then along came some so-called new boss, and my experience of this new broom sweeps clean is they tend to take away the best of things and put in nonsense. So what happened was they said, no, all this traditional stuff, obviously Jimmy Shand, Andy Stewart, these guys would be getting on a bit, but they said, no, let's go for a bit more pop music. and a bit less of the dancing and a bit more, you know, and then it ends up just a shambles. And nobody has been happy with a New Year program since. You look at the newspapers afterwards and go, what a load of rubbish. Ended up watching Scottie McClue on YouTube.
I mean, you really want to put on BBC and watch Jules Holland for 10 years running? That's a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, I love Jules Holland, you know, so it's not that. But what I'm saying is, if it's New Year, put on the New Year stuff. You see, if you go back to 1984, 85, look at Grampy and Hogmanay, and you'll see McClue dancing.
The best thing about New Year's Day, Scotty, there was always a brand new episode of Taggart.
Oh, brilliant! There was another brilliant program, Taggart, Take the High Road, all these things, you know, fantastic. Now, if you look, another trick that they used to do on New Year's Day, they swapped Grampian and Scottish television, swapped their programs. So you got the Grampian Hogmanay on New Year's Day, and you got Johnny Beattie from STV at the time up to Grampian.
What game show did he host, Johnny Beattie?
I can't remember, but he did. He hosted a lot. Johnny was quite a guy. Yeah, he was quite a guy. He did a lot of stuff. You know, and he ended up as Malcolm in River City.
Johnny Beattie. Was it Now You See It? No.
It might have been, yeah. It might have been Johnny Beattie. Somebody will come on and tell us.
And who used to host Name That Tune?
Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember now off the top of my head. And do you remember the music program with Joyce Grenfell?
Before my time, Scotty.
A lovely guy called Samuel Hines has just given me £1.
Name That Tune. Was that Tom O'Connor?
I think it was. Now you're talking about Tom O'Connor, another great host. These guys were great, and Les Dawson did Blankety Blank. Terry Wogan. Blockbusters was Bob Holness.
Bob Holness,
and Bob had been an announcer for ITV.
Did you ever watch 3-2-1?
Yes, 3-2-1. Ted Rogers. Yeah. And also Bully on a Sunday afternoon.
Bullseye with Jim Bowen.
Jim Bowen.
Let's take a look at what you would have won. You just feel like smashing his face, don't you?
I remember Jim. Jim used to speak at dinners when I was in Lancashire. Great character. I'd better go. We're sitting here reminiscing. So lovely to hear you and Dinky-Doo.
Hey, Scott, you have a nice Christmas.
You stay fabulous.
I look forward. Before you go, Scott, you've got to give a wee shout out to my daughter, Joanna.
Joanna!
As you say to me, the nice like, are you phoning Scotty? I said, I'm phoning Scottish. Like, I'm away up the stair then.
Joanna, Dinky-Doo, go and give your dad a hug.
Right. Scott, you have a nice Christmas, and I look forward to the Hogmanay Bash.
Oh, bless you. Dinky-Doo, Alan. All the best. Ta-ra.
Hey, cheers, Scotty. Bye-bye.
See you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Good chat. So there you go. Sending Christmas cheers, says Samuel. Please ignore hate. Love you, Scotty pal. Dinky-Doo, Matthew Hughes, Billy Connolly. Yes, wonderful. Wonderful guy. I was watching him this morning on, I think it was a TikTok video he was on. My goodness, I'm just looking at the time there. Who have we got here? Hey, Granddaddy Christmas. Follow us, guys, as soon as you can on the TikTok. Thank you very much, Eldar. And there we are. Oh! You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
It's David. How you doing, son?
David, how are you? You must have been trying to get through all night.
There's a few problems on your YouTube. There's lots of problems on YouTube. There's a lot of evil people on the night. Yeah.
Anyway, Davey, don't come on and say that, because these people don't matter. You're giving them airtime.
I know.
Every time you come on and you go, oh, there's problems. So what we got?
Your friend Neil Gormley, but even your friend Neil Gormley is disappointing. He's cracking up and attacking.
Right, I'm having a look down here. I'm just having a look and seeing what's going on. So wait a wee minute here. Let's just see what we've got here. I'm going back. Stay with me. So that what number do you call? So we've done all that. It's all going well. Everybody's happy there. Tom, everybody's happy there. Mr. Fat the Rat, thoughts and fawners. Professor Numpty Head has retracted a message. Why has he done that?
Yeah.
Susan, that's not nice saying that.
Yeah.
So what's that? That's all. Let's see. Professor Numpty Head says, Jack, back off. Is that Professor Numpty Head? Oh, yes, Scotty's slimy head. Jack Blair. So is he, is he to go?
He's got to go. I think
he's got to go. Right.
Neil Gormley.
Right, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's not, but you must just, I mean, obviously tell me about them, because I was having a chat to Alan there, so I can't see everything.
You will. I know you will, son.
You know.
Neil Gormley says he's been on too long, but he did, that nice chat was great. Of course it was, so stay on longer.
He was a lovely guy. I mean, we don't just go, if a call's good, everybody gets a bit jealous if it's not them. But you don't. You're very good. Now wait till I see if I can move this. I'm trying to move this down.
Tons of them.
Right, I'll have a look. I'm just going to move this down, Davey. Just stick with me.
Right, no, what I'll do for you. I'll let you go and get on with your job.
But I don't want to. But what I don't want to do, no, stay there a minute. Because what I don't want to do, hang on.
But we'll just leave it.
No, just stay there. So, Get Lost Imposters is Numpty Head. Is that Numpty Head talking? So, Scotty's, so stay there. Scotty's slimy head. So we'll ban him. Right, so he's away. Now, it'll be clowns from Barra mucking about, says Numpty Head. Numpty, I've seen this. David says, yes, Numpty, I've seen this imposter. He's thick, that's you. Welcome to the family, Jackson, Susan. Jack, what are you doing? Jack, what are you doing? Grow up, says you. Scotty makes slime, says Samuel. So we'll ban him. Right, so he's away. They're dumped and they'll never get back on. Welcome, Jack. David Hay. I kill kids at pools, so that's no you.
That's terrible.
So wait a minute. So you've no said that. So he's away. No. So he's away as well. And most of that's taking all the rubbish because he was impersonating you. Susan says we're not freaks on here. Sick people here disgusting. That's you. Mr. the Fat Rat, so we're going to hide him.
Yeah.
He's away. They've been able to left. Wait, see, they're trying, but the problem I'm trying to get across here, a couple of numpties on the chat, says Neil, so that's okay. And then most of it's deleted. This chat's getting out of hand, says Susan, that's okay. You said this band, are you genuine about these sick people? Is that you talking, David?
That's what I said.
That's okay.
That's me talking.
I just don't want to ban you. Samuel, do not start on me, so Susan. So he's away. No, Susan, don't go. What's your snap, says Matthew? You're a Tory, says Matthew. So we'll dump him as well. He's away. He's not a man, that's right. So you see, everything's going now. Susan says she's not a cow or a dog. She's a woman. Uncle Dave? Who's saying Uncle Dave?
Why did imposters? I don't know.
Right, so he's away. So what we've done, Davey, you now go and look at that chat and you will love it. You will be just grinning from ear to ear. Scotty, you're running out of time to ban these numpties. One or two have been spouting disgusting towards Susan, so they've gone. And Samuel sent me 79 pence. What's going on in the chat, says Amy. So, Davey, when you come on, see with all that, by all means bring it to my attention, but don't waste your time on these people.
No.
All right?
I'm not.
These people are nothing. These are halfwits.
Your people love you, so it's time for you to stay on tonight, okay, son?
Stay on. I love you. Now, listen, what are you talking? I'll have to say goodnight to the beautiful TikTokers. So they've had to go. We love them. And they go because they can only get an hour. Now, what were you saying to me? You were going to tell me about something there.
Well, no, just I'm okay. Just to say hi and about these idiots. And I'm decorating. Well, I've been changing my stuff about my house. I'm decorating my big bedroom before Christmas.
Beautiful.
But, right, can I just tell you?
Yes.
Oh, here we go again. I'm in the small room. I had to put the furniture in the small room from the big room.
Right.
Right, Scotty, right. Let's go back to the ghost things.
Oh, the ghosts.
I'm hearing voices during the night. So I'm serious.
No,
It's not-
I'm not. No,
going to-
I wasn't laughing. I hope you didn't think I was laughing.
No.
No.
I know you're not. I know. And I was like, who is this? And I stood up in the darkness, and Lily was beside me with a wee cat, but she was also hissing. Right?
So
And I thought,
what?
this is weird.
Lily was with you in
Yes, in my
Yes.
bed. She was going to bed with me.
right. So that's
And-
right. And you stood up and you said, "Who are you?" to the ghost.
Aye. And Lily's upset. She's looking at something. I put the light on, and she's hissing away.
All right.
I went, calm down, Lily.
Right. So
And
that's it. So
I
there is a
keep-
ghost there, but you addressed the ghost, Davy.
I addressed it, and I'm not scared, of course. As you know, right, I'm for a block. So I was checking out this morning who was next door, but they're all out last night in the day. There's no Carlton Street, right?
But
And the
Davy,
man downstairs never been
go
there
on.
for.
Go on. No,
Sorry,
No.
the man's downstairs. He's not been there for 2 years. That's a shrine down the stair when she's passed away.
Right. Now, what I was saying to you, the ghost might be nothing to do with the four in the block. The ghost might be on the land that the house is built
Aye.
on. The ghost might go
Aye,
back to the
aye.
1700s or the 1500s, right? And you did
Oh,
the right thing
yeah.
by saying, "Who are you?" Just say it, because a ghost
Aye.
is only an unhappy spirit that can't settle.
Yeah, no, son.
It's no there
Yeah.
to do you any harm or anything like that.
Oh, no.
And once you talk to that spirit will calm
Aye.
down, because they will
It's
feel
Christmas time.
wanted.
That's by the way, come on, the spirit is for Christmas. Not
Spirits,
you, I
the
mean-
Christmas spirit. Now listen, but that's what happened. That's what happened to Scrooge.
Aye.
The spirits turned up.
Aye.
You know.
I test things out. I keep my
Yes.
doors open when I'm sleeping at bedtime.
Yes.
I've got to let people run. free.
Yes,
You know
of
what I mean?
course, of course. Good for you, Davy. And listen, Charlie's on here. He says, "Scotty, Johnny Beattie hosted. Now you see it." So there you are. That was the
That's
show.
right. Now you see it. Now
you see it.
You see it. Now you don't.
Now you see it. Now you don't. I'm
Yes.
telling you. So that was Johnny. He was a character, terrific character.
Line position. It was line position. Something. He said, "Aye, it's right. Aye."
There we go. I'm just getting rid of another guy here. We're getting okay.
Aye.
Tad the lad says, "Some strange on the chats tonight, Scotty. Hope you're okay, Susan. It takes all sorts," says JD. "Good night," says Susan.
Aye.
So there we are. And then
Aye.
Callum, we'll just hide him. He's away. And Daniel is away down the Swanee as well. There's another one away. So, Davy, what I want you to do,
Aye,
can
son.
you see your chat?
Uh-huh.
Can you see your chat while you're talking to me?
No, because I'm on the phone. When I come down on
Right,
the phone, I'll
right.
go back onto the chat.
Right. Well,
son.
what I want you to do is when you go off tonight, because I'm just about to finish up here, I want you to look at your chat, and I think you will love it. And if you want,
Right.
I'll wait on for a minute.
That's fine, but if you listen, but I would love you to stay on because we loved you.
I
Did you
know,
want to?
it's wonderful, and I would love to stay on, but I just see these days it's finding time to actually go live. People say, "Oh, I don't see you going live for a long time, Scott." You say, "Well, I was live last night, and I was live the day," and they go, "Oh, right, I must have missed that," you know.
I missed it, aye, but Scotty, see what I said to you by the heart. You're my Christmas present. Stay on for half an hour.
Stay on for half an hour. No, but I wondered, Professor Numpty shouting, "Stay on, Scotty." What I was going to say to you, why
Aye.
don't you take a minute to go and take a look at your chat and see if you like it?
Yes, right.
Okay.
So I'll do that. I will do that.
You go and do that then now,
Good one.
and I'll chat away
Right,
until you
right.
come back.
Good man.
Is that all right?
Dinky-doo.
Dinky-doo.
Smashing.
There you go,
Dinky-doo.
Dinky-doo, Davy. So Davy's away to check the chat, and I think he'll find that it's different chats. So there you go. It's rather fun. And you know, you'll always get idiots coming on chat because they're not clever enough to understand just how big this program is and that it's a program of great quality. That's your difference, folks. You know what I mean? It's to do with the quality, I always say. So there you are. So that's what Davey's away to do. He's just away to check the chat, and he says he'll give us a wee ring back in a minute, and we'll see what's happening. I tell you. So there we go. We'll see what's actually going on. So when Davey comes back, we'll see if he's a lot happier. And I'm telling him they're never, ever to bother about these people because they don't matter. They are just very jealous of him. They wish they were him. They wish they could come on and have a chat to Scottie McClue. I say to you. So there we are. Guys, wonderful on the YouTube now. If you're watching on the YouTube right now, can you do me a huge favor? Go down to the bottom left and click the thumbs up. And could you also subscribe to the YouTube channel? So there you are. I'm just going to check who's subscribed tonight. Where's David back? We'll see what's happening. Hello, you're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Oh, Scottie is Numpty Heed.
Numpty Heed. How are you, lot?
Oh, marvellous, marvellous. Scottie, I've been watching for since 9 o'clock sharp. You know me,
9
I'm a
o'clock
very
sharp?
punctual man.
You're a punctual man.
And, you know, I like to make sure you're on time as well.
Oh, always on time. You know?
That's why I'm always on time, just to keep an eye on you. Now then, there's been a lot of chat in the window, Scottie, that's been rude, disgusting, imposters as well,
Imposters, all imposters, but I just don't want to ban the proper person. So that's why I checked.
You did get,
you say, you know.
You did get an imposter, Professor Numpty, coming on. Scottie.
Yes, but he's away now, of course, as well as you would see.
Aye, aye.
See what happens when you ban them completely. All their chat goes.
Aye, I felt sorry for Susan because they were really rude.
Yeah, really but she needs to not pay attention to that. Do you know what I mean? Where would Scottie McClue be if I was upset when people were rude to me? You know.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, it's all right being rude to you. You can handle it, Scottie. I've heard people calling you worse than cows and dogs.
Terrible things, all that stuff. But these kind of idiots, they just aren't mature enough to handle a big phone in.
Absolutely.
You know.
Anyway, Scottie, I bet you David's fingers sore by pushing the redial button.
David will be doing his nut because you phoned in. I need all the YouTubers to go down to the bottom left of the picture and click the wee thumbs up right now. So there we are. That's what we need.
Wait a minute. I'll just do that now, Scottie.
And I need them all to subscribe. Not everybody's subscribed.
I'm not in the habit of doing that, Scottie.
No, I know, but it helps because it lets me know who's been on. You see,
well, listen, I just want to say, Alan's call was a fantastic call, Scottie, talking about the old times when you were on Scott FM.
Numpty, I'm so pleased to hear you say that because I thought it was an excellent call.
Absolutely. It was a joy to listen to because I could resonate with what he was saying because I've also been there since the Scott FM days. However, I wonder...
So that means you've been listening to Scottie McClue. Oh, I think Alan might have shaken my hand, actually.
No, well, I've done it twice in one day, Scottie.
You've done it twice, absolutely. With an awful job with you, because in the radio, you can't recognise people always.
It was at the video signing, Scottie.
And the video signing, again. The Edinburgh one.
Aye. You remember me well,
I remember down, of course I do, down at Menzies and Princess Street.
Absolutely.
Yes, lovely.
Indeed it was, down the stairs and that
big shop. Down the stairs, that big shop and all the rest of it. And we got some good banter going.
But let me tell you this, Scottie. Can I tell you about my video that I got for you?
Oh, tell me more.
Because because the video was out before you signed the copies, right?
Yes.
I went and got my video for another shop.
Right.
And they were £1 dearer, but it was worth it because I got to see.
So I owe you £1 then.
You owe me more than £1. The amount of time I've put on listening to you, Scott.
The amount of generosity you put on, lost all your overtime as well. But no, I'll tell you, so that means you've been listening to me for over 30 years.
I've been stalking you for over 30 years.
30 years, I tell you.
On the phone.
On the phone. Now, down to business. How are you tonight?
I'm not he's no bad. Sober.
So what? Why the big change? What's happened?
Well, the dog takes priority, Scotty. You know, if I don't have a drink, it means at midnight I can take a run to Holyrood Park.
Nice.
If I have had a drink, it's a walk into the graveyard.
A walk into the graveyard, I'll tell you. Now, we drive through the park at night.
At night time, because the Holyrood Park's a wee bit bigger than the graveyard, you know.
Yes.
I take the torch. Mind that time I interviewed you for the Holyrood Park.
Yes,
Scotty.
you did. Marvellous.
I
would be frightened. I'd be frightened I'd fall off Arthur's seat. And it was an OB. An OB numpty heat.
What was that about falling off Arthur's seat?
I would be frightened I would fall off Arthur's seat. I hope you can see where you're going. The dog will look after you.
No, the thing is, I didn't go up Arthur's seat. I just came with the palace as you.
Ken, we are just up there. Very nice.
That's what I think it is.
Very nice, very nice indeed. Listen,
David will be doing his not.
Oh, David will be doing his not. You'd better go, and we'll catch up soon. And thank you for everything.
The reason I phoned in, by the way, was just to keep you on longer.
Away you go, Dinky-Doo, lad.
Away you go. Stop talking nonsense.
Away you go. Never heard so much nonsense. That's our numpty heat. Davey will be trying to get through now. So there you are. Are you there, Davey? How's it looking? I remember the 80s used to reading the Sunday Times, the guides for Christmas. It was magical despite having 4 channels. They were going to watch an Alfred Hitchcock movie. Well, I'll tell you, Alfred Hitchcock knew a thing about movies. So there you are. Neil O'Gormley, are you okay? The imposters are gone again. They are, David. What's your favourite Christmas film, Scotty? Well, it's not Christmassy, but they used to always put on Bridge Over the River Kwai. Do you remember that? With Alec Guinness. Fantastic. Is this Davey? You're live on Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
Hi, son, it's David.
Hello, son. What was Numpty like phoning up there?
I'm not doing my nothing. I mean, but you've done your job. I mean, it's just, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I want you to enjoy your life. Okay?
Davey, I enjoy my life all the time, and I, as I say, I've only met one bad man, and he was a very, very bad man. And that's you've met one of 2.
I know, but my bad man you're talking about.
The bad man.
Really know. I've met 3 or 4.
3 or 4 bad men. Now, Davey, what I was going to say to you, did you like the chat when you went back?
Yeah.
So
son, you know, it's just
you've stuffed every single one of them.
You can't prevent imposters. I know you can't.
No, but you and I on here, the 2 of us, we've stuffed them, and they're no there now. You see.
Yeah, it's you know, I mean,
there's Ben, the soldier boy, right? And he says, what a strange night on the chat tonight. Glad to see the numpties are all gone. Not lovely.
It's disgusting. I mean, they call me. They think I'm a paedophile.
No. Listen, please never ever even countenance the chat. And as I say, always give me a ring, and we'll just stuff them.
I could please check on YouTube and see that they would come to my door.
No, they wouldn't do that, because these people they'd be more likely to go to their door, and these people need to watch what they're putting on there, because they could be getting a wee knock on the door. Do you know what I mean?
They're sick in the head.
Yes, because you've got to watch what you put on the internet, and these people could be getting a knock on the door. So they need to calm down.
You know,
I tell you.
I mean, and I don't trust the police anybody. I call the police. I don't call the police. I call them an organisation now.
Well, they speak very highly of you. So there we are. Anyway, I am going to dash, and
Yes,
you are a
son.
top man, son, and you take great care.
Right.
Lovely talking
And I'll
to
see
you.
I'll see you during the week.
And
Thank
you and I love the banter. Dinky-Doo.
Bye, son.
Bye, Davy. Bye, Lala. There we are. That's your Davy, and he is chuffed to bits now. Time McClue wasn't here, I say to you. So there we are. We've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. Oh, my goodness. OMG, I say to you. Yes, I was meaning before Channel 4 was created, you only had BBC One and STV. You're quite right, Charlie. And in fact, our first telly, we only had BBC One, but it wasn't called BBC One. It was called BBC Television. Yes, or just the BBC. I used to have an old black and white picture of a transmitter exuding transmissions to the airwaves. Love you guys. Stay fabulous. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Remember, every single one of you, subscribe to the Scottie McClue YouTube channel. Share everything. Spread the word. Get your pals to subscribe. Don't stop till everybody who has access to YouTube has subscribed to Scottie McClue. As soon as we get 1 million subscribers, merchandise, you'll be the ones wearing the Santa hat. This is Scottie McClue saying to every single one of you, take great care of your dear selves and stay fabulous. Ta-ra, lads! Stick out your tongue and say ta-ta. Ba-ba. Once more. Ba-ba.